Hello, everyone. This is Warden of Whitespire, and oh boy, do we have a doozy of a jail today. This almost feels like the old jail, in a weird way. Like there's a few, well, there's like what, one, two, three, four, yeah, five, six, seven alliances that got double banned, and I'll talk about that in a second. But literally 2/3 of the alliances in the game got at least one ban. There's more alliances banned today than was even possible in the old system. This is Oh man, this is a doozy. Okay, let's just... Sorry, I didn't mean to talk about that for so long. Let's just get into it. Bloodseeker. No one cares. Let's be honest. No one cares. Wind Ranger. You know, care a little bit. She is part of the She's like part of the early hunter package, so losing her is a bit of a problem. Io. Not a huge deal. He's not irrelevant, but he just doesn't fit the way he used to, I feel like. When Primordials were at their peak, he just doesn't quite fit, or she, or whatever it is. Nyx is a big one. It's an access point into insects, which is important for assassins. Also, he actually has the assassin tag, making it... Honestly, I feel like this might be one of the most impactful bans of the day, especially for assassin players. Getting those insects online is really important, and you kind of need Nyx to do that. Otherwise, you're having to spend basically an entire extra slot, which in this game is not cheap. You need your slots, all of them. It's difficult to get your slots totally set up the way you want them to, and you need these linchpin units. You need these connecting pieces. Puck is another one of those connecting pieces. Nobody really runs elusive, so you might as well think of Puck as having one tag. So even though elusive got multi-ban today, neither of them are assassins, so it just doesn't matter. Well, okay, fine. If you're one of the weird people that tries to run 6 elusives, this matters, but let's be honest. The more important thing here is Dragon and Mage. Mages kind of got slapped today, losing Puck and Morphling, two of their big AoE nukers. Honestly, the only thing they could have done more to screw with Mages today would be banning Storm Spirit. If they had banned all three of those, Mages would be completely dead. As it is, I think you still could run them a little bit. But I mean, if I just go over here and look at this real quick. Yeah, you can still make 6 Mages, but it's going to be so much more difficult today. On the bright side, there is no bans on your level 1 Mages. So that's kind of nice. So you do still have an early game Mage like kit. It's just, it would be extremely difficult to run Mages today. So I'm thinking... I'm just going to go ahead and say, if I were you, so far, I would not run Assassins, and I would not run Mages. I know it seems a little bit extreme to say don't run Assassins because of losing one Assassin, but Nyx is a big one. Losing the tier 1s is always relevant to build, and Nyx is kind of a linchpin unit, in my opinion, for high-level Assassin builds. Just my opinion on that. Losing Doom. Losing Doom and Treant Protector is a weird one. Because this has two implications. The demon tag, as far as banning is concerned, doesn't really matter. The brute tag does. You want all of your brutes. Doom is probably the best one to ban, because brutes is more of like a mid-game thing, so if you lose Doom, it's not the biggest deal. But losing Doom and Tree means there's no 4 brutes. So it's kind of a weird one where assassins are kind of bad today, in my opinion, but so are brutes. And brutes are the main assassin counter. So, well, I think what this actually means is losing Nyx means assassins are going to be bad in your early game. Losing brutes means that they're going to be better in the late game than they normally would have been. Because if it's like a whole lobby of assassin pickers, well, you might see 4 brutes. But if you're the only one running Assassins, maybe you could make it work. Because I really don't think people are going to play Assassins and think, man, this is working great. Because I just don't think it will. Regardless. I already talked about Morphling a little bit, so I'm going to skip over that. Let's talk about Tusk and Kunkka. Losing Savage and Human doesn't really matter. Losing Human literally doesn't matter. No one runs 6 Human. No one. It doesn't work. I'm not even sure why there is a 6 Human. And I kind of feel the same way about Savage. Savage just doesn't function the way it should at the moment, in my opinion. So I don't really care about that. However, losing 2 warriors, one of them a tier 1, and one of them a pretty important tier 4, because Kunkka's got one of the better disables in the entire game. He just comes out the box at tier 1, a functional unit. Tidehunter's really good at tier 2, but Kunkka works on tier 1. So, warriors still work today. Just be aware that they're gonna have a few struggles. Yeah, there's gonna be a few problems you're gonna want to know about. See, Alchemist, between the Alchemist and Techies ban, I think it's pretty safe to say just avoid Scrappies today. There's no payoff for Inventors because of the Techies ban. You can still make 4 Inventors because of Snapfire now, so that's cool. That's really helpful. But losing Alch and Techies, I don't even think... Can you even... Let me look at the number on the... Okay, so you still can build... Right, because Weaver got made a Scrappy. So you can still build 6 Scrappy. There's just no big payoff at the end, you know? Luckily, you can still run early Scrappy and just think of it as a tank alliance. And just kind of ignore Inventors and then move into something like, hey, maybe an Assassin Splash. Maybe that is the build today. Since, you know, nobody can defend against the Assassins, because the Brutes are all dead, and Mages got nuked too. So, hey, maybe 6 Scrappy with an Assassin Splash is really good today. Who knows? But I will say, you should be aware, going into Scrappies, that it's not going to work as well as you're hoping, in my opinion. So let's go over the alliances real quick, and let's talk about what options we have. Assassins have some problems. Some serious problems. But they still have some potential, because Brutes got nuked too. Don't care about Floodbound. Brawnies. Brawnies are okay. Brawnies are actually doing okay today. Losing Tusk doesn't really change the Savage Alliance too much, actually. You still have access to Enchantress, Lycan, Bristlepack, and Lone Druid for your 4 Savages later on. But Druids did get hit pretty hard. So, like, you're losing Tree is kind of a big deal, even if you're not considering the Brute tag, but if you're going to run Druids for Savages and try and make that work, well, Tree is usually your mid-game unit that you replace with, that you either replace Enchantress if you're getting out of Savages, or if you're going in further into Savages, you replace with a Lone Druid. You do have another tier 1 option in Venomancer for your Savages, so you're not totally boned. You're not totally boned on Savages today. You could run Savages. Don't. Just don't. Hunter Heartless, still totally functional today. Insects, you're going to run into some problems, because, again, losing Nyx Assassin means that you need to run 2. You need to run both tier 4 units. Neither of which really fit in with Assassins. But, you know, if you got 2 stars on both of them, you wouldn't be sad. It's just going to be difficult. Running Insect Assassin today is going to be difficult. Same thing for Inventors. Harder than usual, not impossible. Snapfire. Like, the addition of Snapfire really helped Inventors. Like, a lot. It means you can get that early level 1 Inventor that helps a ton, actually. Because you can move into a Timbersaw Snapfire combo, add in a Puck in there for some extra damage. Pretty good. Actually, just a side note, I honestly think this particular patch, because of the specific changes they made to certain units, turning them into 3A units, huge change. Huge change. It's awesome. Knights, I think, are... Wait. What? What in the world? Am I an idiot? Why are Knights blocked out? Was that from, like, yesterday? No, that's not from yesterday. But none of the Knights are banned. I don't understand. Weird. Okay, that's a bug. Just ignore that. Knights are fine. Like, Knights and Warlocks are both pretty fine today. There's literally a Warlock band. It's Alchemist. You like Alchemist, but, like, Knights Warlocks works fine. Seriously. Mages, I just wouldn't. I really just wouldn't. You're missing 2 Primordials, one of which is Morphling. And still, Mage Primordial is a pretty strong build. in my opinion. It got nerfed a lot. I think, again, as I've said before, I think Mage got an over nerf. Just throwing it out there. Scaled, doing totally fine today. Scrappy, doing totally fine. Shamans are a weird one. Because yeah, I think because Mage got hit that hard, Shamans are probably, don't take any of them today, in my opinion. If you can help it. Just because there's no Shaman payoff, so you're always necessarily going to be wasting a tag in Shamans. Shamans work okay in Primordials. I like Mage Primordials specifically because you can use Magnus to connect your Shamans early. Magnus is basically he's the only Shaman unit that you actually want the effect on, because he's the only frontliner. Everyone else, like, maybe it works out for Arc Warden and Shadow Shaman sometimes, but really it's Magnus. But he doesn't fit into Brutes anymore, and he doesn't fit into Mages today, so it just doesn't work. You can't even use him as a transition unit. I mean, okay, you can. I wouldn't. Just saying. Alright, Spirits. Spirits are good. They connect with a ton of stuff today. They're completely uncontested, so yeah. If you see a Spirit, it's just probably a good addition. Especially since they have the internal synergy to connect a bunch of separate alliances together. Spirits, I think, are being underutilized currently. They're really strong. Trolls are good, Warlocks good, Warriors have some challenges, but Warriors could still work today. Warriors could pretty much always work. Yeah, so thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.